Report on a journey to the western states of North America and a stay of several years along the Missouri during years 1824 to 1827 by Gottfried Duden. 11th letter, Louisville, 11 October 1824. Number 15. We made the trip from Cincinnati to this place by steamboat. We took our horses and wagon with us on the boat. The length of the waterway is 120 English miles, which can usually be traveled in 8 to 10 hours. It took us 15 hours, however, as a heavy fog forced us to stop. The banks of the river for the entire distance are very charming. The valley plain is mostly narrow, and the forest-covered hills rarely recede very far. There are no precipitous walls of rock in sight. The landscapes have a gentler character. The forests are interrupted only occasionally by farms and small towns. On the right bank lies Lawrenceburg, 23 English miles below Cincinnati and 2 miles below the mouth of the Big Miami. The town is subject to floods. Therefore, a new Lawrenceburg has been founded on a more favorable spot 600 paces away. 4 miles below Lawrenceburg lies Aurora. In 1818, 20 owners of fertile land in the surrounding region devised a plan for this little town and began by giving away several building sites. Soon, about 40 houses has been built, and then the lots were offered for sale. 9 miles below Aurora lies Rising Sun, Sunrise, with about 130 houses, and then 10 miles farther, Vevey follows in the Swiss district. At present, Vevey has about 200 houses and a printing press. In 1814, the settlement was begun on a tract of land which as early as 1804 had been granted by the Congress to about 30 Swiss families on extended credit provided they engaged in viniculture. During the next year, several of these families settled where the town is now standing. I saw vineyards along the hills, and it is said that the undertaking was not unsuccessful. The settlers tried several varieties, but the vines from Madeira and the Cape of Good Hope are said to flourish best, especially the latter. I tasted red wine from Vevey, which was poor enough. Also, I can scarcely believe that vines from Madeira or from the Cape do well along the Ohio, where the winter admittedly is short, but the temperature often drops to -5 to 7 degrees, or more. 40 miles above Louisville, on the right bank of the Ohio, lies the town of Madison, with about 1,000 inhabitants, and 10 miles farther down, New London. All these places belong to the state of Indiana. On the left bank of the Ohio, which here belongs to the state of Kentucky, lies Petersburg, 28 miles below Cincinnati. Then follow Fredericksboro and Ghent, all still unimportant. Port William, at the mouth of the Kentucky River, has about 80 houses, and 48 miles downstream at the mouth of the Little Kentucky lies Westport with about 60 houses. The city of Louisville, on the left bank of the Ohio, where I am staying at present, has about 6,000 inhabitants, beautiful buildings, and 2 printing shops. Immediately below the city are the Falls of the Ohio, about which I wrote earlier. It is planned to provide a detour around them by means of a canal about 2 miles long. The Joint Stock Company has already been formed, and the plan is about to be executed. Opposite Louisville, on the right bank of the Ohio and also above the falls, lies the small town of Jeffersonville. Kentucky soil has long had and still maintains the reputation of being very fertile. However, the good land now costs on the average of $25 to $30 per acre, and in the vicinity of some cities even $100 to $300, as a result of the great increase in population and prosperity in a few years. As in most parts of the Mississippi area, limestone is prevalent, especially in Kentucky. Below the topsoil there is clay and then a layer of limestone to a depth of from 2 to 20 feet. It is still deeper close to the rivers. These have cut their way through it, so that within their high, steep banks they look almost like artificial canals. Here in Louisville, also, many people are waiting for higher water in order to travel by steamboat to New Orleans and St. Louis. For some weeks, the Ohio, even below the falls, has been too low, which seems very natural during the prevailing summer weather. This does not affect us. We intend to travel by land in any case in order to become acquainted with the interior of Indiana and the highly praised state of Illinois. For now, we are getting into the regions that are said to be especially important for European settlers. In the states we have crossed up to now, the fertile, well-situated land has long been private property, but in Illinois and Missouri such is not the case. There, most of it still belongs to the Union. St. Louis on the Mississippi, and former Upper Louisiana, is now our objective. The route by land is calculated at 300 miles.